Hey, you guys, thanks for listening into this episode of Tips with T. On today, I have Miss Mandy with us. Hey, Miss Mandy, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. So thank you once again for being a guest on the show. So tell our listeners a little bit about yourself and what you do.
So, I am a creative genius consultant, an artist, an author, and a creative retreat owner in Scotland. And I help all those wonderful creative women out there to launch, to grow, and scale their businesses and make more money.
Awesome. Awesome. That sounds very exciting. So how was your journey of becoming an entrepreneur?
It's been an interesting journey. I went to art college, got my degree like a lot of us creatives do, and then couldn't find a job in the creative space. So I ended up with a proper job and working in retail for decades. And I did really well. You get on the hamster wheel of life and earning a lot of money. It's very difficult to get off it again and follow your passion. But I had a series of unfortunate events in 2009. I lost everything and I rebuilt my life. Along the way, I met the perfect man, and it was him. He's the catalyst. He's the one who said, stop talking about it and just do it, and follow your passion and follow your dream. So that's what took me to launch my business, to write my book, to start and step into the creative space quite powerfully and say, you know what? You can make money from anything. It is all about strategy. And, it's been an interesting journey. And actually, I'm now 3 years into this business. I have a 6-figure business and I help lots of creative women. So it's been a journey.
Awesome. So how are you able to rebuild from rock bottom and then develop a money mindset?
That's huge. So when I ended up at rock bottom, it was 2009, and I'd had a car crash and a series of unfortunate events, lost my husband, so my marriage, lost all my money, ended up bankrupt because of two other people. So I went from having a 6-figure job and a company car and the perfect little chocolate box cottage in the country to being a single mom with 2 kids and 2 dogs living in social housing with no money. But I did have my brain, and I think it's about, we can all monetize what we know.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I started. I started very small. I started a cleaning business, actually, because I knew I could do that really quickly where I lived in the country. There was lots of holiday cottages. I started a cleaning business and thought I need to just get on rails again with money coming in. Then I can build up to my dream. So I had a strong vision of where I wanted to go. I knew I wasn't going to stay at rock bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And I took one step at a time, baby steps, built a business I knew I could do quickly, then morphed into something else. I went into financial services then, actually, then into wills and estate planning. And then I was confident. I'd been doing that for, almost 10 years when my late husband gave me that prod and said, follow your passion now. You know what you're doing. You can build a business from anything. So, but it took time. It took investment in me. And that investment was started out as books. I could only afford small things.
Mm-hmm.
I worked with the amazing Jack Canfield on his program. I read The Secret. I watched the film. I worked with Bob Proctor. And it was about that. Taking what I already had, building on it, growing, learning, and step by step building the infrastructure for businesses that could change the way that I lived.
Yeah, I mean, I tell a lot of people that your pain has purpose. Like, what have you learned from that? What can you, how can you use that in order to, build yourself up, to build your brand? Like different things I try to tell, you know, people that I run into that goes through a lot of stuff, but then, have an issue with their finances or trying to find an additional income. I'm like, well, how can you use whatever you've been through in life to encourage someone else or to help build somebody else? And then think about how you can use that to actually profit you as well, because your pain, like I tell people, your pain has purpose. And whether that is, eventually transitioning to being a life coach, whether that is like writing inspirational books, whether you want to just be a motivational speaker and host webinars or actual seminars to encourage women and men that have been through a lot of things in their life. So I'm kudos to you for doing that, because a lot of people just they don't think that they don't realize they can turn their negative into a positive, I should say.
Absolutely. And I come across this all the time in the creative women that I work with, because they've been told this story that you can't make any money from your creativity. It's a nice hobby, but it's never going to pay the bills. You should get a proper job and do this as a hobby on the side. And they are almost living that lie, that mistruth that society has built over the years. So that when they come to me, their self-esteem is low. They don't believe that they can. And I hold the mirror up and say, look at you, you're amazing. You're a creative genius. And let's see what we can do. And actually, that when you said your pain has purpose, I spent years with this void inside of me, wanting to be the creative, believing I couldn't do it. So actually, I'm now serving a version of myself several years ago and changing their lives. I wish someone had come along and done that for me a bit earlier, because it is powerful.
Yeah, it is very, very powerful.
Yeah.
It is. And I'm glad like you realize that now. And also too, like you were saying earlier before, you have to take the proper time to invest in yourself first to get on that right track, to get on that right path that we tend to like avoid. But you have to start with you. So I'm glad you was able to take those steps and to get where you are today, because it is possible.
It is more than possible. It is. You are the most important asset in your business, full stop. And what people don't see is themselves as an asset. So why wouldn't you invest in the most important asset in your business?
Yes, which is you.
Yeah, it sure is.
So what advice would you give women entrepreneurs at this time?
What I would say is that now is the best time. You can always put things off. Now is the best time to start what it is that you are passionate about. And when you truly follow your passion, you believe that you want to do it because it is your passion. If you try and be something that you are not, or do something that isn't you, you're not going to be successful. Follow your passion. Time is now. Take action today to change the way that you do business, the way that your life is. That's the best advice I can give anybody, is start today.
Well, thank you so much, Miss Mandy, for being a guest on the show today and telling us how you rebuild from rock bottom. I'm going to share your social media handles. Let our listeners know how they can get in contact with you if they want to render your services that you are offering.
Yeah, they can find me everywhere on social media, on my website, mandynicholson.co.uk, on my retreats website, which is the Art Bank Dalbeatty, but the other website takes you through from there. You can literally find me everywhere if you Google me.
Awesome. And if you guys want to get in contact with me, you can do so by giving me a phone call. My number is 910-317-0396. You can shoot me an email at contact@mjfinancial.biz. You can visit the website, you guys, www.mjfinancial.biz to schedule a consultation. You can find this episode on Anchor, you guys, and then you can find a playback for this video of the podcast on the YouTube channel as well. Thank you once again, Miss Mandy. Miss Mandy, tell us how we can get your books.
You can get them on Amazon on my author page. I've got 2 author pages, one under my name, Mandy Nicholson, and one under my pen name, AJ King, which is where I write the fiction books.
All right. Awesome. So you guys check out Amazon for her books. And thank you once again, Miss Mandy, for being a guest on the show. And we will see you guys on the next episode of Tips with T.